The latest batch of pickups on the market close the gap between what was once a humble workhorse and a luxury SUV. One such is the Nissan Navara in its latest form. Offered as a conventional pickup, a two-door king cab or a four-door double cab, the Japanese-marked Navara brings in driving qualities that were once unheard of in what is essentially a work vehicle. The Navara NP300 Tekna Double Cab is perhaps the best illustration of how the rise in the leisure industry has fueled the widening of the horizon of this type of vehicle from the builder's yard to the executive driveway. Costing £33,330 on the road, here is a vehicle that can seat 5 in comfort, with easy access, and transport a massive amount of gear on its generous load bed. But add a lockable hardtop plus a load liner and this vehicle becomes a mega estate, fit for most purposes a family needs for just a few £1,000s more. Many might think that pickups are tough to drive. Years ago this might have been true, but these days technology and customer demands have driven up expectation and the Navara is as pleasant to drive as an executive saloon. Its long length takes a little getting used to when parking, but the Tekna model's parking sensors and around view monitor make it easy. This vehicle was fitted with a 7-speed auto transmission linked to a punchy 2.3-liter twin-turbo diesel engine with power aplenty at 190 picoseconds. The Navara in earlier forms was never short on power and could be a little skittish on gravel. But this latest version, with vastly improved ride quality, seems a much better driving proposition without losing any of the punch that Navara drivers love. The Tekna Double Cab features a 5-link coil spring rear suspension, which makes a big difference. Maximum speed is an impressive 112 mph and there is a good zoom from standstill to 62 mph of 10.8 seconds and economy is to the fore with an average 40.4 mpg. And it has a specification that would do justice to a premium saloon, with features such as an emergency braking system, hill start assist and much more. There is a selector to switch into 4-wheel drive, which includes a low-range mode with electric limited slip differential. A 3,500 kilograms towing capacity and a payload of 1,052 kilograms are generous and mean the Navara can cope with most things an outdoor family will have cause to like about.
Nissan had a good thing going in the late 1980s and early 1990s, but many of its coolest creations were never officially offered for sale in the United States. You've got hero cars like the Skyline GTR, balanced sports machines like the Silvia and even the rugged patrol SUV. And all of them have their partisans, but few have captured enthusiast attention like the so-called Pike Factory cars, the Escargot, the BE1, the Pau and the Figaro. These were retro cars done right, years before we would see the likes of the PT Cruiser and Chevrolet SSR. Relatively affordable and pocket size, though not as small as Japan's K cars, they were also limited edition. Production of the Figaro, which we examined in the February 25, 1991 issue of Auto Week, was limited to just 20,000 cars. That number was actually supposed to be just 8,000, but demand for the cute convertible was overwhelming. Even with a boosted production, it was more or less an instant collector's item coveted around the world, even though they were only sold in Japan. Though we compared the Figaro's dimensions to those of the Geo Metro, also known as the Suzuki Cultus, it was more or less a Nissan Micra, called the March in the Japanese market, under its skin. That means it's a front driver with a 987cc inline-4 under the hood, hooked up to a 3-speed automatic. No micro-spec 5-speed manual here. Output is respectable, for its era, and the car's size, 76 horsepower and 78 pounds-ft. Figaro's found an eager audience in the United Kingdom, where grey market importation is more straightforward and the right-hand drive setup makes perfect sense, but they've also eagerly snapped up by US buyers since they turned 25 years old and became legal to bring into the country. If you're interested in a Figaro, we know where you can find 1 or 2, or 100, right here in the States, Duncan Imports.
Nissan will show a number of exciting concept cars and production vehicles at this year's Tokyo Motor Show, giving customers a glimpse of the company's newest and future innovations, including the Leaf Nismo concept. TNI's new concept model that embodies the future of Nissan intelligent mobility will be among the highlights of the vehicles on display. The Nissan Leaf Nismo concept car, the performance-oriented Serena Nismo and an updated Skyline will also debut at the show. In all, Nissan plans to display 13 vehicles. The Nismo concept version of the new Leaf has a sporty new exterior designed by Nismo, Nissan's motorsports and in-house tuning division. The application of Nismo racing technology to the car's body results in enhanced aerodynamic performance and less lift, without sacrificing the Leaf's excellent drag coefficient. The black interior features Nismo's signature red accents, creating an exciting, high-performance feel. On the road, the Leaf Nismo concept offers a truly exciting drive. This is thanks to a sport-tuned suspension and high-performance tires, not to mention a custom-tuned computer that delivers instant acceleration at all speeds. The Leaf Nismo concept combines the environmentally friendly character of an electric car with the exciting driving experience that's always been a hallmark of the brand.
For family hatchback buyers bored of the humdrum, the crossover sector has been a revelation. Invented by Nissan with the Qashqai a decade ago, it's been on the up ever since, with no end of rivals to the groundbreaking Nissan cropping up. One of them, the Etika, even managed to usurp the second-generation Qashqai as the king of the crossovers. So for 2017, Nissan's fighting back, with an extensive midlife facelift which aims to reassert its status at the top of the bulging crossover pile. As most people still choose diesel in this sector, we've pitted the most economical versions of each against one another. Despite similar power outputs, the 1.6-liter TDI in the seat proves a second faster from 0-60 mph than the 1.5-liter DCI Nissan, and this extra performance makes it feel more relaxing in everyday use. It pulls better if you let the revs drop too, so you don't have to change gear as much. This is ironic, because the Etika's gear change is nice and crisp. The Qashqai, which needs much more gear changing, has a ponderous action. The Nissan is quieter under acceleration, although this advantage is lost when it comes to high-speed cruising, thanks to the Etika's better wind isolation. The Nissan has a smoother ride, which passengers will prefer, as it means bumps become far less noticeable. The Etika corners better though, with less body roll and faster steering. The Qashqai sways more in corners, which those passengers might find a bit disconcerting. Practical, comfortable interiors are essential crossover fare and both deliver here. They have multi-adjust driver's seats and steering wheels, although the Etika will let people find a slightly more perfect setup than the Qashqai. Its controls feel more solid too, but the Qashqai's interior looks classier, with nicer trims on the doors and dashboard. Another crossover must-have is a commanding driving position and, again, the Etika edges the Qashqai here. Its higher roof means you can position the seats higher up. This doesn't help when reversing though, due to the thick rear pillars. You get sensors as standard, but the Qashqai aces it with a combination of better visibility and a superb 360-degree reversing camera. Pity it's part of a disappointing-looking 7.0-inch infotainment screen, which seems below par these days. It doesn't even have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which are fitted as standard to the Etika SE Technology's bright, crisp 8.0-inch screen. The difference is like night and day. Rear space is similar in both. The Qashqai leads the legroom race, with the Etika bettering it for headroom and overall amount of glass. The light and airy feel this gives significantly helps the feeling of space. The seat has a big boot too, with its 510-liter capacity and practical shape taking 8 of our test carry-on suitcases. The 438-liter boot on the Nissan could only take 6 cases. All of this makes prices something of a surprise. Again, the Ateca has an advantage here, of £1,200 on paper and probably much more once you start haggling. It has better retained values too. The Nissan both costs more and will lose more, and is also the pricier model to service. Add it all up and, after 3 years, the Ateca will cost you £4,000 less. That's an enormous advantage. It is partly reversed if you're a company car driver, though. The lower CO2 emissions of the cash-coming fleet drivers will pay £500 less in tax over 3 years. Their businesses will spend less on fuel as well. What should not be in doubt is our top pick here. The Seat Ateca continues to be the best crossover you can buy. The Nissan Qashqai may have invented the sector, and the firm may have invested big in this midlife facelift, but it's not enough. The strengths of the seat continue to give it the edge, making it unquestionably still the best small SUV on the market.